Welcome to the debate brought to you by InspiroBytes. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.
Yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button.
So today we're diving into, well, one of anime's most complex figures. Itachi Uchiha. We're looking at the morality behind his actions, specifically, the massacre of his own clan and how he treated his brother Sasuke. And the central question really is, was Itachi's path this extreme self-sacrifice and deception? Was it a morally justified, maybe even effective way to get peace? Or was it just a fundamentally flawed strategy that caused, well, irreparable harm? I'll be arguing that Itachi was essentially a tragic hero whose actions, however terrible, served the greater good.
And I'll come in at it from a different angle. I mean, I see why people think that, the tragic hero idea. But, well, I just don't buy that his strategy was actually effective. His plan was built on this deep manipulation and secrecy, something he himself later admitted was a mistake. Honestly, his plan failed, miserably. It drove Sasuke down this path of vengeance that, ultimately threatened the Hidden Leaf village anyway. This whole idea of him shouldering everything alone, that was a critical flaw. It ruined his brother's life and maybe even contributed to his own debilitating illness.
Okay, I understand focusing on Sasuke's immediate reaction, but we really need to frame this within the political instability facing the Hidden Leaf village at the time. Itachi's choice, I think, was a calculated necessity. It was designed to minimize suffering for the maximum number of people, classic utilitarianism, right? He took on the role of a traitor to stop a full-blown civil war, a war that wouldn't just devastate the village, but could have plunged the whole Shinobi world back into conflict. So his actions, they bought the village crucial years of peace and stability. The sacrifice of the Uchiha clan, as tragic as it was, prevented a potentially much, much larger conflict involving thousands more casualties. And look, this was sanctioned, wasn't it, by village elders like Danzo? It was for the continuity of the state.
That's a compelling argument for the initial act, maybe. But the problem isn't just the massacre itself, it's the follow-through, the strategy regarding Sasuke. If the goal was truly peace and stability for the village, well, that strategy failed the moment Sasuke decided to align himself with that shadowy criminal organization Itachi had risked everything to infiltrate.
But he infiltrated it to watch them.
Right, but Itachi's elaborate lie pretending to be this irredeemable villain, it drove Sasuke to attack the Kage summit. I mean, that's a direct act of hostility against the very stability Itachi supposedly died to preserve. How can we possibly call this strategy effective when the person he was trying to protect became one of the village's biggest threats?
I think that line of reasoning overlooks the ultimate success of Itachi's long-term plan, which included his own sacrificial death. He managed his terminal illness, he managed his pariah status for just long enough to die by Sasuke's hand. This wasn't random, it was orchestrated. He saw his death as the only path to sort of absolve his sins and, crucially, to plant that Amaterasu countermeasure against Tobi's influence. So even when things went wrong, he had layers, contingencies built in that ultimately helped defeat the real main antagonist. His ability to keep his composure, execute these incredibly complex plans despite being literally physically falling apart, that shows extraordinary commitment, extraordinary willpower.
That's an interesting way to frame his illness, I guess, but I'd argue it differently. The sheer personal cost of bearing every burden alone, emotionally, strategically, it was unsustainable. It proves the method itself was fundamentally flawed. I mean, think about it. He needed high-risk medicines just to function, just to suppress the pain. That's a constant vulnerability. His intense internal conflict, the isolation, the crushing guilt of, killing his own family, it manifested physically. His illness was almost a symbol, a visible sign that trying to be the sole secret controller of destiny, it just destroys you from the inside out. And it did compromise his effectiveness at times.
But that suffering proved his dedication, not necessarily strategic failure. His profound ability to commit that atrocity, that one horrific act, while holding on to the conviction that it served the highest moral good for his people, protecting his home, protecting his brother. That is what defines his heroism.
And in his final moments, even when reincarnated, he made his love clear. He told Sasuke, "I will love you always." That unwavering love, I think, fueled the entire tragic but ultimately successful defense of the Hidden Leaf Village.
You know, Itachi's own realization right near the end is maybe the most telling piece of evidence here. He admitted his mistake. He said his failure wasn't about his love for Sasuke, but in trying to control his brother's path through all that deception, instead of just being honest from the start. So yeah, he's absolutely a fascinating, complex character, no doubt. But his story really serves more as a cautionary tale, I think. Secrecy, trying to carry the entire weight of the world alone, even for what seem like the noblest reasons, it inevitably leads to failure and, well, devastation.
We've certainly explored the deep tension here between Itachi's arguably selfless intent and the really severe consequences of his isolation and manipulation. Whether that ultimate success outweighs the immense personal damage, well, that remains a question that probably demands we keep looking closely at the material.
Indeed. His life really illuminates the tragic cost of trying to basically outsmart fate through lies and secrecy.
Well, we hope this discussion sheds some light on the different ways to view this truly fascinating character. For more anime breakdowns and debates like this one, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Inspirobytes.